Please, I would like to hear from us, please.
Okay, I raised my hand.
Okay. Oh, great. I didn't see it. Oh, sorry. I can't see it. Okay.
Okay, so my question is pretty simple, and this is where my challenge is. And I think I need a paradigm shift, and
Okay.
are going to help me work on my brain. I'm a trained Montessorian, right?
Okay.
And I have a Montessori school. We do it well here.
Yeah.
And now, if so, in my head, I don't know. I think my mind is not broad enough to take in all of these things. Like a part of me is saying, what do you want to put together? Now, you talked about the industry now, like when I was in the bank, I was a core customer service person, and I have, at the tips of my fingers how to run customer service unit effectively and all of that. And my
Yeah.
mind is telling me, okay, so you now go to this bank abroad, you now say, I have this e-learning, something, so that's saying, oh, what do you want to teach them? It's a mindset, it's a mind thing. So I need to work on, like what are the things like what are you going to put together that people cannot find online already? So I think they are actually limiting mindset or ways of thinking. And I'm glad that I'm here so that you can help me, you can reorient me, and say that, okay, people pay for their ignorance. They don't want to read anything. They can't do research. They can't put anything together. So if you can package something. So those are the thoughts that I've been struggling with. Okay. And I hope that at the end of the master class, I would have answers to all of these questions.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Harry. Oh, wow. So, like you said, you asked the question and you've answered it in a way. It's all in your mind. It's all a mindset. Like I had to deal with this as well myself when I first came in. I just had this, they call it imposter syndrome. You just feel you're not good enough. Yeah, you see, you know, I know you talked about working in a bank, customer service, you run a school. So you need to just believe in yourself. That is one thing that you really need to work on. I had to work on it myself. You have a lot that you have achieved. You have leadership skills. You run a school. What you need to really work on is to probably get a professional who can help you like optimize your CV and your LinkedIn profile in such a way that it's catchy. And then, of course, you also need to ensure that you believe in yourself. You have to talk to yourself. As a Christian, one of the things that I know is that the words we speak, there's life in the word we speak. You have to speak to yourself. Already are. You're just not believing it. The imposter syndrome is something that all of us need to actually deal with, especially when you find yourself in a situation where you think a lot of people are better than you. It's just a thought. It's just our mindset. And the best we can do is to just keep speaking to ourselves. And of course, upskill. When you upskill, you have the skill, you have the knowledge. It gives you more confidence. Yeah. Let's continue now about, let's talk about the misconceptions that people have about tech. A lot of us think that we are too old to pivot into tech. I transitioned into tech when I was 42. And then we all know about Buki Wright, who is a former Nigerian actress. She's now an information security auditor in the US, and she started this at the age of 44. 11 years down the line, now it's 2011 was 13 years ago, actually, 13 years down the line. Imagine if she didn't make that decision now, she will be 57 now. Okay, I didn't do that calculation well. Sorry, she'll be 57 now, and then she'll still be at the same spot. So if you're thinking of pivoting, you just need to make up your mind. You need to deal with the imposter syndrome. You need to think, stop thinking that you're not good. Just start. Just start. When COVID hit, and I looked at myself as somebody who had not worked in corporate for over 15 years, I I just started and I just believed in myself. Even though when I still got here, I had the imposter syndrome. I was afraid. The first few interviews that I failed, that I did succeed in, I'm sure it was because I just didn't feel confident enough to project my value. And I had to work on that. So start now. And it doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you have life and breath in you, you can do it. So another misconception people have, I've talked about, is the fact, okay, I stopped working in corporate for about 10 years ago. I'm running my own business. It doesn't matter. I resigned from my corporate job in 2004 and I became a solo entrepreneur in event design. And 16 years after, I transitioned into tech. And within 1 to 2 years, I got a job in corporate. And the reason it took that long was because the first 1 year, I was doing my own freelancing and I'm creating courses and making money. I was still in Nigeria. And by the time I was ready, I started applying, I started doing a lot of research, and eventually I got there. So don't think about the fact that you are running your own business or you have not worked in corporate for a while. You can do it. You just need to start now. You just need to start now. So some of us think, okay, I missed an opportunity to get a role, though I was involved in an L&D project in my organization, and I was told I don't have e-learning skills, or I've been trying to apply, I've not been successful. I got rejected from a lot of interviews. I can't even tell you the number of, applications that I went for. I did a lot of applications. I applied for a lot of jobs, over 200 jobs that I applied for, and a lot of, unfortunately, we will not proceed, even not even inviting me for interviews. And when interviews started coming, I was rejected, from a lot of them before I got my first role. So you just need to upskill. And one of the things I did when I was rejected was that I took feedback and I went back to learn more and to upskill myself. And I just kept going. I kept going, and then I eventually got my job. So it doesn't matter whether you've been rejected before, you can do it. And then some of us say, I've researched different tech roles and they all seem to require professional certification or degree to get in. E-learning design, like I mentioned earlier, doesn't require any degree. It doesn't require any certification. Even if you don't have experience, if you enroll for a course and you're able to do a project, you can, from that project, tailor your CV to showcase your skills. And that would help you to get your job or even to start working with clients. Many times what is required is that you have a portfolio, and that portfolio, you create it by getting involved in projects. And these projects they don't have to be real life projects, okay? They can just be projects that you decide to work on by yourself based on the skill that you learn. And then you can just, present that. And it's just about you being able to, project your value either to your clients or to the organization. And some of us say, I don't think I'm cut out for 9 to 5 role anymore because I'm burnt out in my current role or my business or what I'm doing. When I started my own e-learning journey as a solo tech entrepreneur, which I still freelance now for, when I started, I was doing solo, I was on my own, I was freelancing, I was creating courses, and I was making good money. And then even now that I'm working, I still do freelancing. So you can decide that you want to do freelancing. And another thing about e-learning roles, one thing I found that is there quite a number of them that don't have to be permanent roles. It could be temporary. It could be something that you work a number of hours in a week. You don't have to do full time. And many of them are flexible. Even when you are doing 9 to 5, it's more about you getting the job done. There is always a lot of flexibility with remote, jobs. And then finally, can I really make money with e-learning? I said it earlier, I've made money. There was a particular month that I made $2,000 in a month. I freelance now to make extra money. I work in employment and make money. So there are so many ways you can make money. And if you have a business or an organization, and what for you want to learn is e-learning, ways to improve on the learning in your organization. When you have your e-learning, your learning programs created. You have effective learning, effectively created learning, which, there's a process that you have to go through. When you have your learning well designed and created and developed, one thing that you achieve is that your staff, your learners, they'll be able to achieve measurable outcomes, which eventually will change their behavior. And when behavior is changed, they're able to do your work better, and that helps your customers to be more satisfied. And what happens? You make more revenue, because when customers are satisfied, you have the advantage of more referral, and then repeated, customers that come back to patronize you. Yeah. And this brings me to a program for anyone who is interested in transitioning to tech,